Hey, welcome back everybody. It's CryptoRobert, and today I'm going to do an update video on Crypterra. Now, I would like to tell you that I've got some good news, but then I'd be lying to you. So let's get started and see what we're going to learn today about Crypterra. Alright, are you ready? So here we are at what is supposed to be the Crypterra website, and we get this crazy message. Technical works. We are hardly working on our server. We'll be online soon. This is exactly what they wrote numerous times, the same wording on their Twitter page. But if you were to go to Crypterra, now I'm here at www.crypterra.net without their HTTPS, which is their security certificate, because if you go to Crypterra the normal way, just doing crypterra.net, this is what you get. This site can't be reached. Crypterra.net refused to connect. So what does this all mean? Well, it means that Crypterra no longer has a security certificate. So if you click in the little, if you're using Google Chrome, that is, like I am, you click on that little I button here. It usually should say in this top area, should have a certificate, and it's missing, which is strange because on Twitter they posted on February 1st this message: dear friends, on our server technical work will be carried out over the next several hours. We apologize for the inconvenience. And this has happened numerous times. Crypterra has made several messages on Twitter, sometimes after the website has gone down, telling us that due to technical issues, you know, the website is down, and don't worry, we're working on it. And usually within a day or two, the website is back up. And now it's been about 6 days. Now, when I click on the message itself, back on February 1st, there was evidence that Crypterra was trying to install a security certificate, an SSL security certificate. See here, I posted that on Twitter. I was trying to calm everybody down. For everyone who's nervous, relax. Crypterra is indeed working on their technical works. And indeed they were, because for about a day or two, they were trying to get this security certificate installed. However, after around a day or two, by February 2nd or 3rd, I'm not sure, they removed their security certificate, and the site has been down for days and days and days. You know, 5 hours became 10 hours, 10 hours became 20, 20 became 40, and here we are almost 6 days without any word from Crypterra, without any hint that the website is coming back online. So you're probably wondering what is going on. And truthfully, I really don't know. I would love to know what is going on too. I would love to give you all the answers as to what is happening with Crypterra. Unfortunately, I don't have those answers because I don't work for Crypterra. I don't have any inside information in Crypterra. I'm doing this video because a lot of people have been asking me to make a comment or a statement regarding Crypterra, because they know that I've had several videos on Crypterra. In fact, you probably got maybe interested in Crypterra and have invested in Crypterra based on a video that I've made regarding this platform, this cloud mining platform. So the obvious question is Crypterra scamming out? Well, if they're scamming out, if Crypterra is indeed gone for good, then they are not following at all the typical scammer playbook. I mean, it's not exactly a playbook that they follow, but based on my previous experience with other platforms that have scammed out, Crypterra is not following what those other companies have done. I'm just going to spend about a couple of minutes describing what the typical scam out playbook is like. If you remember, the other week I did a video on HashZone, a scam cloud mining website, and I was basically exposing it for various reasons that were contained in the video. I'm not going to get into all of them now. You can watch that on your own time. But this is what a typical cloud mining or any Bitcoin scam looks like. When you go to their website, you see this. The hashzone.io refused to connect. which admittedly is similar to the message that you're getting on Crypterra. The site cannot connect. But as you recall, HashZone actually had a Twitter page that they were updating and communicating with their customers, which is no longer there. When you search for HashZone on Twitter, you come up with a couple of tweets, people saying they can't access their website, that they scammed out. HashZone did have a Twitter page. But when their website went down, when they took their website down last week, they also took down their Twitter page as well. So Crypterra, however, has not yet taken down their Twitter page. So in that sense, Crypterra is not following the typical scam out scenario that a lot of other companies follow. Another example is space mining. A few weeks ago, I did another scam exposing video on space mining. Remember the 10% a day Bitcoin thing where you would get 10% a day for life from cloud mining? It was a complete and utter fraud. If you try to go to space mining now, what do you get? Well, bad gateway. The site is completely down. Another scam out. And space mining never did have any other social media pages. They were just a straight up scam, and they didn't even want to communicate with anybody. So their site went down as well, and they haven't been back. Now, both HashZone and space mining followed a similar playbook, which is take the money and run and leave no evidence behind. Essentially, they accumulated as much Bitcoin as possible for a few weeks, and then once they reached the desired amount of Bitcoin, they pulled out or closed shop and are gone completely. There's no way to trace them. So that's a typical, very often a typical scam out scenario. However, there is another scenario that other companies pursue. This website here is called Dellux, and back in November I did another scam video regarding Dellux. In fact, I actually lost about $100. I was testing out that platform. I should have known better, but I didn't at the time. And it was another one of these 10% a day forever. Now, they stopped paying on around November the 20th or so. Yet, here it is, February 5th or 6th, depending on when you watch this video, and their website is still up and running. And in fact, a hapless investor that comes across Dellux will be able to invest and send in Bitcoin, and they will never get their money because this is a complete scam. For whatever reason, this server is still online and nobody's taking it down. So this scam is, well, you know, we've taken your money, but we're going to continue taking your money to anyone else who happens to give us money and never going to get it. So they'll continue taking money on sites like these until a time where someone shuts them down. So you might be thinking, what do those three websites that have scammed out have to do with Crypterra? Well, I'm just trying to illustrate that Crypterra, if they are scamming out, they have not followed the typical scam out playbook that a lot of other companies follow. For example, why would Crypterra go to the trouble to put in security enhancements like they did here on January the 26th? That they had a new payment gateway they've launched. They've added a PIN code to protect funds from fraud. And so we all seen that. We all had to choose a PIN code. Of course, that meant a 10-day delay in payments, and that made all of us angry that we had to wait 10 days to get our money. But if they were scamming out, I don't understand why they would go to the trouble of going to all the work necessary to create a PIN code system. It just doesn't make any sense. Well, I have my own theory of sorts. And the theory posits that Crypterra actually is a cloud mining company. But it's a small cloud mining company that got started back in July 2017. Now, my theory can be pieced together based on the tweets in their Twitter page. If you go back to the very beginning of when they started tweeting, for example, their first tweet was from August the 4th, 2017, not long after they started their company. They wrote, "We are happy to inform you that we have installed new SHA-256 ASICs." What are they? Those are those Antminers They are specifically designed for mining Bitcoin. And they go on, it says, so we have additional hash power for rent now. So they started out with a set number of machines. We don't know, of course, because they haven't told us. They've never been transparent. So we have no idea how many machines they started out with. But at a certain point in August, they bought additional mining machines so that they can increase their capacity. And then there's this tweet from August the 31st. We are happy to announce that we have installed new solar batteries for our data centers. Now mining is cheaper. Now on their website, they were touting how they using these machines that use less electricity, that they're environmental and all of that. But why would they make this announcement if it wasn't somewhat true that they actually did install solar batteries on their data centers? And what you also learn here is that if you look at the picture that they had provided here, is that this is their Bitcoin, their Ethereum, and their Zcash mining. What's missing here is their Litecoin. So at this point in time, in August, they're still not mining Litecoin. However, that's about to change in November. On November 5th, they tweeted, Litecoin mining is available. We are so happy to inform you that we have installed new script ASICs. So we have additional hash power for Litecoin mining. Please use this promo code. So they didn't have, it's interesting, they didn't have Litecoin mining from the very start. Now, if Crypterra indeed was a Ponzi scheme, as a lot of people are saying, and it was a complete fabrication, that there wasn't any mining going on, why didn't they do what so many other scam cloud mining companies do, which is put up a website and have the big four scripts, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Zcash or Monero, right from the very start? Why didn't they have Litecoin offered way back in August? And all of a sudden in November, they're starting to offer Litecoin. Well, because they bought these Litecoin machines. So based on this little bit of Twitter forensics, I'm able to piece together that, yes, actually, Crypterra is a small cloud mining company. Now, you might be thinking, you don't know that, CryptoRobert, you don't know that, you're just full of it. It's not true. We haven't seen anything. There are no pictures. Nothing is verified. And you're absolutely right. There are no photos of their machines and their equipment and their data centers. We've been promised those photos in February. And to be perfectly honest, it looks like, all things considered, we're maybe never going to see those photos. But let's back it up a minute here. If Crypterra was a straight-up Ponzi Bitcoin scheme, there was absolutely no reason for them to do all these tweets, to make all these announcements, to add the Litecoin at a much later time than they started their company. They started back in July and August, and now in November they're adding the Litecoin script. Just really doesn't add up as a scenario of Crypterra being a cloud mining scam from day one. More questions that need answering are the following. For example, on January 15th, they tweeted, you made a purchase but do not see your hash rate. Something went wrong. Let us know about your payment and we will help you ASAP. And then in the dashboard, when you logged in, there was a form that if you paid for hash power, whether it was Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, whatever, you would be able to provide the transaction ID number, the wallet ID, the amount, and they were able to search for the transaction and then find it and then give and credit you that hash power. Now, many people got back to me in the comment section of my YouTube channel, have emailed me about this very problem, and once they filled out the form, lo and behold, their hash power was enabled. In most cases, some of the many customers forgot to include the correct amount of Litecoin or Bitcoin in their payment, and once they added that, then everything was fine and their hash power was enabled. This doesn't sound like a company that really is just only out for themselves. Yes, they're trying to make money, but they're also trying to help their customers. And see, it wasn't in their best interest to have unhappy customers. They were trying their best. They put that form up, and for the most part, that form solved a lot of problems regarding that missing hash power. Now, prior to the website going offline, Crypterra had problems with their withdrawals. First, they had a problem with their Ethereum withdrawals. On January 5th, they had an alert about the Ethereum wallet. Their wallet was temporarily disabled. For a while, I was able to withdraw Ethereum for the Ethereum contracts that I had. And then I was only able to take that out as Bitcoin. And then I was able to take out once more as Ethereum, and while then having to default back to Bitcoin. It was a bit annoying, but this followed other problems they had with other currencies that they were mining. Because on January 17th, they had some technical works on their Zcash payment. So as a result, no, you weren't getting paid in Zcash. Even though you were mining Zcash, you were getting paid in Bitcoin. These problems with their wallets were only getting worse. On January 20th, the Crypterra was fixing some infamous bags on their website. They were hardly working to fix those bags. And part of those bags were the fact that the wallets, the withdrawal wallets, really weren't working, because we've all seen it, who are customers of Crypterra, where in the beginning, we were sending when we click the withdraw button, it would take about 3 hours, 4 hours before it would go out and be broadcast to the Bitcoin network and get your payment within a couple of hours. 4 hours became 6 hours waiting, and then 12 hours, 24 hours. You'd hit the withdraw button, 24 hours would pass before they would send it out to your wallet. 48 hours, it was getting really ridiculous, actually. So something obviously was wrong and they had to fix it. And that led to January 22nd's a tweet about they were starting technical work on their withdrawal server. It could take up to 72 hours, and that lasted over 3 days. So the website was down for over 3 days. So when the website was down for a day or two, it really wasn't that much of a surprise for a lot of us who've been with Crypterra for a while. It's just that it's never been down over 6 days without any kind of communication. But between that time, when the website was down, if you remember, during that 3-day period, Crypterra did not make any additional announcements. It went down, and when it went back up, then they made their announcement. So they could be following that same playbook. Once they get all of their technical bags fixed and technical works done, they'll make an announcement, and then the website will be back. Of course, I don't know that for certain, but it's something that they've done in the past. It's just that we haven't waited all this time before in the past. We don't know how much longer we're going to have to wait until this website is completely fixed and back up and running, if ever. So why has there been no communication from Crypterra for the last 6 days on their Twitter page? I really don't know. It could be that they've had some further unexpected technical problems. It could very well be, and God forbid, that they got hacked in some major way, or they discovered some kind of vulnerability that would make them even more vulnerable to hackers if they had put their website back up the way it was. There's a lot of things that I really don't know. We're not going to know, and only Crypterra has those answers. One thing is certain, since making my first video on Crypterra on December 28th, 2017, the popularity of Crypterra exploded. And I can't take all the credit for that, of course, but I did notice that before I made that video, Crypterra was very quick to respond to communication through the support ticket system. Within an hour or two, a couple of hours, I would get responses. And all that started to change by the middle of January. After my video hit YouTube, other people made videos, other YouTubers, and it went around like wildfire. Everyone was jumping on the Crypterra bandwagon. And their number of customers, or what they call their miners, the people mining with their company, exploded as well. Thousands and thousands and thousands of more customers. As a result, they could not keep up with all of the customer support requests. What normally took a couple of hours took now days before they would get back to you. And then they just basically gave up. They stopped communicating. They just basically shut down their ticketing system, almost to the point where you couldn't even send them any new tickets at all. They just could not handle it, and instead chose basically their Twitter is their de facto way now of communicating anything major. And this is the only way we're going to get any real communication from Crypterra is through their Twitter page. So if you're looking for accurate information about Crypterra, this is the one place you're going to find it, their Twitter page. So where does this all leave us? Well, kind of in limbo at the moment, unfortunately. We just really don't know what is going on with Crypterra. We have no idea if they have exit scammed. We have no idea if they are still dealing with technical works. Now, why can I say that we have no idea that they've exit scammed? A lot of you have already concluded that and have judged, and the judge and jury, okay, done. Crypterra has exit scammed. Their website's been down for a couple of days, and that's that. They've taken the money and run. Well, I'll be convinced that Crypterra has indeed exit scammed when they pull the plug on their Twitter page. Once they completely shut down their Twitter and there's no way to communicate with them whatsoever, then I'll probably be convinced at that point, yes, then they've scammed out, or at least went bankrupt, or have no more money, or whatever the case may be. So until that time comes, I'm going to hold a little bit of hope for Crypterra coming back and getting back up and running again, and hopefully paying all their customers again. That would be really nice, wouldn't it? Now, I know what some of you are thinking about me right now. The hurt and pain of losing money, maybe several thousands of dollars, is just too much to bear. And there's no possible way that you can lash out at Crypterra. So the next best thing is to lash out at me. For example, someone on Twitter said that, are you having tight sleep at night, boys? I don't have any boys, but I guess he means me. You are helping the scam. You will hurt people. This greed, this shameless greed of yours and its add-ons will bring an end to all this. And you are the cause. You cannot and you will not run away from that burden. Wow. Okay, talk about melodramatic here. And I've gotten lots of other types of tweets like this, and truthfully, it doesn't really hurt my feelings. So you can tweet more of that stuff if you want, but it's not going to change the fact that from day one, folks, I was extremely cautious in warning people about Crypterra. None of my videos were a ringing endorsement to buy, invest in Crypterra. I was almost saying that because of the lack of transparency, there really wasn't no way of knowing whether or not it was a scam or not. So that's why I was urging caution. If you were going to invest in Crypterra, don't put a lot of money into Crypterra. But some of you did not listen. You put in thousands and thousands of dollars. And as a result, you have the sleepless nights and the thoughts of losing all of that hard-earned money of yours. And I'm not being flippant here, okay? But I'm also not the fall guy. There's a tendency, at least in this country I live in the United States, to everything is someone else's problem. Nobody takes responsibility for their own actions. It's always someone else's fault. Some corporation, the government, the this or that. It's people. I didn't put a gun to your head. I didn't tell anybody to put money into Crypterra. I provided information, well-researched information, and to the best of my ability, I presented that information in the form of YouTube, right? A YouTube video. And yes, I put an affiliate link there because I'm not getting paid from YouTube. I don't have ads on my channel. I'm a new channel and YouTube takes forever. So in the meantime, until I can start making some revenue from YouTube ads, I have some affiliate links. Did I make some money from Crypterra from affiliate links? I certainly did. Do I feel bad about that? I certainly do not. I'm going to lose that money? just like everyone else is going to lose their money if and when Crypterra does scam out. I certainly didn't get rich from Crypterra at all. This was in my opinion, a modest sum in most cases. But the fact of the matter is, there is absolutely nothing wrong with any YouTuber from providing information and providing a link in the description for an affiliate program. People do it all the time, and I'm doing it, and you can do it, and you can get your own YouTube channel and do your own reviews, and you can make your own affiliate commissions. Look, at the end of the day, folks, it's all a matter of what you want to believe. You want to believe that Crypterra scammed out. You want to believe that Crypterra was a Ponzi scheme. Fine, you can believe that. There really is no hard evidence that Crypterra ever was a Ponzi scheme. There is evidence pointing to the opposite, that actually Crypterra is an actual cloud mining company, and still is. But it also is enough evidence that shows that Crypterra is a completely incompetent business team. They have a completely incompetent team of people that made a number of horrific technical blunders, and they did not plan for growth. And that's the problem with so many small companies. They get started online, especially in this cloud mining space, and they don't plan for scalability. What is scalability? Well, it's having a plan in place when you are comfortably handling 1,000 customers, and then you go to 20 or 30,000 customers in a short span of time. And that's what happened to Crypterra. They lacked a certain vision, and they lacked a plan on how to handle all these customers, and they also lacked an effective plan on how to deal with all the technical hurdles that they inevitably would face in running a successful and prosperous cloud mining operation. I do really wish them the best. I wish them really that they can get all of this fixed, and that their data center is going to be working fine, and they're going to show us those pictures and those videos that they've promised, and that all of us are going to get paid, and all of us are going to be happy as Crypterra customers. But right now, 6 days with nothing from Crypterra, it looks like a diminishing reality. I'm going to be a little bit on the Crypterra side. I do hope that these guys get their acts together, but I have never believed them to be a scam. I would never in a million years promote a website that I would know to be a Ponzi scheme or a scam in any way. I'll tolerate a really, not a well-run company, as long as they're a legitimate company. If they're a bunch of dingbats and the Three Stooges, whatever, running the company, as long as they're paying me, hey, that's fine. But a scam, I would never promote a scam on my YouTube channel. That is an absolute no-no. Well, that's about all I have to say about the current situation of Crypterra. I wish I could say more. I wish I knew more. I really am sorry. I mean, all I can leave you off with is this ridiculous webpage, Technical Works. And I do hope that Crypterra, if you're listening, that you should be hard at work on fixing these problems. Not hardly working, okay? It's hard at work. So if you liked the video and thought it was worth a thumbs up, click thumbs up. If you don't like the video, and you feel like you're going to lose all your money in Crypterra, and you need someone to vent because you can't punch Crypterra, you can't get to Crypterra, please click the unlike button. Click that little thumbs down, okay? It's okay. It's probably very cathartic, very reassuring. I'm letting you know one more time. Please, if you're feeling upset, if you're feeling down, you can leave me a nasty comment, that's fine, but you can leave me a thumbs down as well, too. I'm okay with that, all right? And if you haven't subscribed yet, and if you like my content, and you don't want to miss any of my content, then please click the subscribe button below as well. I'm making like a don't like thing. I shouldn't probably do that when I say subscribe. Probably not. Click the subscribe button below, and you won't miss any of my content. Okay, well, that's all for now. And stay tuned for other videos I'll have coming up on other cloud mining platforms I'm reviewing. Some legitimate, some not so legitimate. Some of them are going to be more these scam exposure videos. I've got many other videos down the pipe, coming down the pipe. So keep on the lookout. Take care and see you then.